Hey guys, what is up? What is today? Happy Tuesday. Today is day 10 of the Diddy trial. First of all, before we go ahead and get started, shout out to Adobe. I made some chicken fricassee tonight. Go on my playlist. Just look up Dominican style chicken. I did it with beer, olives, bay leaves, a little sugar, some sofrito, some homemade sofrito. I made some yellow rice with this. So just go on my playlist and check it out. Anyway, how you guys doing? Did you have a good day going back to work? Were you tired? Were you dragging your feet? Let me know in the comments what you do this holiday. I just kind of I went out to dinner with some friends. I was feeling better and I went out dancing one night. Nothing too hard. I didn't go out like I'm too old, guys. I can't go out 4 or 5 nights a week, the whole weekend, but I did go out for a little bit. Mm. Get your food. It's dinner time. Go cook. Find a recipe. Get your food. Get a snack, chips, nuts, whatever you like, and let's go through this pretty quickly. So first of all, I want to say that I had heard, I think it's true, that Cassie went to the hospital. She's going into labor. She's bringing a son. This is her third baby with her husband, Alex Fine. I believe she started to go into contractions. So we're just going to hope and pray that she has a safe, healthy delivery and that she can put all of this behind her and just kind of move forward from this point. I was thinking too, like her money, she got 20 million. She testified she got 20 million settlement from Diddy. And she also got 10 million from the hotel. I guess whatever lawyer's fees. And that she used to make, I think, $1 million modeling before she started in the music. And I was thinking maybe some of that money she should donate it to like victims or charity from or victims of domestic violence, because anytime you get money from a negative source, when you spend it, like if someone you love dies and you get a lump sum of money, every time you go and spend it, it triggers a negative emotion. So I was thinking maybe she should give some. That's just me. I mean, why be selfish? It's just not good money. It's not like you worked, you earned it, even though I know you guys are going to probably say, yeah, she did. But I would say to open up a foundation and do something positive, make something negative into a positive so she can live a more healthy, vibrant life moving forward. So let's go into Diddy's assets. Now, I had said before he had filed, he hired two more attorneys, so he has a total of 10 with the Department of Justice to fight off foreclosure, a federal foreclosure. So these were look at his net worth in 2022. This is before Cassie's lawsuit in 2023. He was worth $1 billion. 700 million of it came from spirits. Wow. So that was his partnership with DeLeon they owned tons of tequila brands and Smirnoff and whiskey and scotch. They owned a lot of different brands. I'll go through it next live. I can't name them all right now. So yeah, private investments, 50 million, cash, 75 million, real estate, 100 million. Now, he put his home in LA to sell for 60 million to pay his attorneys. It hasn't sold yet. I heard the price dropped down to 30 million. I don't think he put his homes in Florida on sale yet, because remember, like OJ, real estate property in Florida is protected from civil lawsuits. So it was better for him to sell the one in California. And then before that, he had sold Kim Porter's house. Speaking of houses, let me stop for a minute. Speaking of houses, I got ADD. Do you guys remember when Kimora Lee's house was on fire? I wonder if the feds will call her in to come testify if she thinks Diddy put a cocktail bomb into her fireplace. It's not funny. I should be laughing. But look, guys, remember this? Oh, wait, here it goes right here. Kimora Lee Simmons says her house caught on fire thanks to the department. Someone put a cocktail bomb in Kimora Lee's in her home. And this is 2023, December 23. So look at the timeline. Cassie's lawsuit was in November 23. And she started to speak out saying, did he kill Kim Porter? Did he kill Kim Porter? And to shut her up, look what happened. Her house caught fire in the chimney. I wanted the feds to tell her to testify. If you get called to testify and you don't go, that's 5 years. That's 5 years in jail? Anyway, so let's go back to his net worth. He has 75 million catalog and intellectual property. I guess this is his streaming music, Bad Boys music, streaming, clothing. Now 2024, he's worth 300 million. So he went down 700 million in 2 years. His spirits is only, so look, the bulk of it is when he sued the company. He went from 700 million to 150. Private investments, 25 million. Cash is equivalent to 10 million, and 100 million in real estate and collectives, and 50 million catalog into intellectual. This is tax proceeds after Diego buyout. And this is from the PPD podcast. Interesting. So we know Gina, the marshals found Gina. Gina's working out a deal. Gina was supposed to be victim number 3. She was the one that went on Tasha K and did the live. She did the live. She was the first one to come out and talk against Diddy. How she was pregnant, she lost the baby. He made her drink alcohol. He got physical with her. I heard she's working a deal with her attorney. I went through yesterday on my live. I went through all the I think it was 8 or 7 different civil lawsuits that he had that settled. I hear her lawyer is working with Diddy, and this is why Diddy always gets away with everything, because he just pays them off. He pays off the witnesses. He pays off his staff. He just pays. Everyone just takes a check. That's why we never really ever get anywhere with this. So let's listen to you guys. So the assistant was up today, Capricorn Clark. And let's listen to her testimony. So now they testify that Kid Cudi was on there. He said that his car blew up with a mocktail cocktail. So DNA forensic evidence had proven that the DNA was that of a female. They didn't say it was Diddy or not. They just said it was a female. So maybe a female did the bottle, put the bomb in, not Capricorn, because the DNA didn't come back and say it was hers. But maybe someone came, a female, put the bomb together, the mocktail cocktail together, and then handed it off to Diddy or his assistant. He said that day his bodyguard was with him, Ruben. I don't know who Ruben is, but I am glad it wasn't Roger Bonds, because I was like, oh no, please don't. I think I was going to pass out if they said it was Roger Bonds. I was like, no. So that was the first thing they did in court. They got the forensic people about her DNA. She said so Capricorn testified she met Diddy in California because her best friend's baby was from Suge Knight. She met Diddy and they had a platonic relationship. That's what she testified. I forgot what year it was. But remember, Capricorn knew Cassie before she met Diddy. She knew Cassie before from Ryan Leslie and maybe from her modeling. I believe she's in LA. They also testified that Cassie's DNA was in Kid Cudi's car. Of course, if she was dating him or having a friendship with him and they were spending time, of course her DNA is going to be in the car, right? I'm listening to the court docs. 1 second, guys. So I'm going to share my pictures while I do this. It's Capricorn and Ray J. That's in 2009. I guess this was her at court. Yeah, there she goes, Capricorn. She's 55. No. Yep. That's how she went to court. So the government's asking Capricorn Clark what's her relationship with Suge Knight. This is saying here, ex-assistant Capricorn Clark leaves after testifying short Diddy Combs sex trafficking trial in Manhattan federal court on May 27, 2005 in New York City. Combs, 55, has pleaded not guilty on all counts, which include racketeering charges, alleging the hip-hop pioneer was the leader. Okay, so she's just talking about her relationship with Suge Knight. Okay. She gets into, there was some jewelry that was missing. They don't get into the value of the jewelry. So they take her to 1710 Broadway and they lock her in there for 5 days. They tell her she has to take a lie detector test. This is it right here, 1710 Broadway. This is where they took her and said she had to take a lie detector test. And she had to take two. She had to take two lie detector tests because the first lie detector test that she took, it didn't come out good. So they had to redo it. I wonder if Daddy's studio was at 1710 Broadway. Daddy's house was the recording studio. Oh, that was Quad. That was Quad Studio with 1710 Broadway. No, maybe he had an apartment there. No, it's not there. Mm-hmm. And waiting on the government. She said she, Uncle Paulie, D Rock, Roger Bonds, and Ruben, D Rock. You know, that was Biggie Small's best friend. Uncle Paulie. They asked Capricorn, you ever see Diddy with a gun? And she said yes in her home. So Uncle Paulie. You guys remember Uncle Paulie, right? Remember Uncle Paulie? Remember that book that Madam wrote that whole book? Here goes Uncle Paulie. Let me see. Let me show you his picture. This was a birthday party for Uncle Paulie, but this was not his picture. There's not many pictures of him. I'll be honest with you. There's not many pictures. Let me share this. Hold on one second, guys. This is Uncle Paulie's birthday party right here. But there's not, that's Loom. There's not really a lot of pictures of him, his little C's. This is 2003. It was a birthday party for him. Remember, I told you that there was this famous woman. She wrote a book. She was from Europe. Came here. She was an intern with she was an intern at Sony Records, and she wrote a book. She used to hang out at Perks up in Harlem. Hold on. She worked with him a lot. She was a madam. Try and find her madam. She was deported to Europe. I did a report on her in the last live. Oh, here she goes. Here she goes. International Madam Neva Gonez. Nina Gonez. That was her name. I don't know why I can remember. She was from Europe. She came to be an intern at Sony. She met Uncle Paulie at Sony. And then I don't know if she left or quit or got fired. And I guess she needed some extra money. And she still was like, well, what I do in Europe is I just bring girls and I hire girls and we'll make money. And she started to do that here, and she got deported. She got locked up and deported and got sent back. Here's her mugshot. And then she wrote a book. So she talks all about being in Perks up in Harlem with Uncle Paulie and Diddy, and that's how she met Diddy. And she was young then. Look at her here. This was when she got arrested. Let me make it bigger. So that's when I hear the name Uncle Paulie. I'm like, okay, all right, here we go, right? So Nina Gadino, Nieves Gadino, exiled herself after serving 2 out of 4 New York State prison back in 2012. She had been set up as an affiliate of a major hip hop record label who cooperated with the federal agents. So was that Bad Boy Records? Did they have an informant in her and they snitched? But she wrote a book. There's a whole book. So when I think about Uncle Paulie, I think about her. She was sex trafficking girls from Europe. Okay. So let's search. This is what Capricorn Clark. I'm just trying to put the pieces together, get you up to speed, because Capricorn Clark this morning, she talked about Suge Knight. She talked about Ruben, who was the driver of one of the 4 Escalades. She talked about D-Rock, who is Biggie Small's best friend. And she talked about Uncle Paulie. And she named one more person. It was 4. Oh, Roger Bonds. Roger Bonds. Okay, let's go. Now they're talking about 50 Cent. She started talking about 50 Cent. Capricorn Clark started to talk about 50 Cent. So the government says, did Diddy ever talk about the gun? They asked her, did you ever see Diddy with a gun? She was like, yes. So they're asking her about the gun. I guess they're trying to tie the pieces in together, maybe about the story when he said gave Cassie the gun and they jumped in the car and they went to see Suge Knight when he was at Mel's Diner and he said he had guns too, and if they had pulled up, it would have been bad. Diddy had a gun and had a problem with 50 Cent. The government asked Capricorn, was she ever accused of stealing? She said yes, jewelry was given to her. It was online. The government said it went missing. She said yes. She said she had jewelry that went missing. She said Diddy told Chris Lighty he got a gun and he got a problem with 50 Cent. That's what she testified today in court. Was Chris Lighty Diddy's manager? I know he was 50 Cent's manager. He probably was jealous of Chris Lighty and 50 Cent when he broke at that vitamin water deal because they had made millions. Did y'all know Gina was dating Chris Brown before? And he got out of sidebar. He got out of prison on a $7 million bill. Don't you think $7 million is a big bail to pay for assault? Yeah, I think they're gonna use him as example. But he can't leave the country. I guess they kept his passport. I'm just waiting for the court to respond. Also, Diddy's kids are using his jet, his black jet, as a Airbnb to make money. They charge him $40,000 per trip, but they're renting it out, not saying that it's Diddy's. Because if anyone knew it was Diddy's, no one's going to want to be flying on a jet that's part of a federal investigation. So when they took her to the building at on Broadway, they said you were there to take a lie detector test. So the government says, what would happen to you if you failed the lie detector test? And Capricorn said, they said if I failed the lie detector test, they would throw me in the East River. Diddy's lawyer said objection. Sidebar. That's a threat. If you fail they that's kidnapping. They kidnap her for 5 days. And if you fail this test, we're going to throw you in the East River. So that's a threat. A kidnapping and a threat. She also mentioned Pharrell when she testified today. She did mention Pharrell. Diddy's mother, she was so young. Look at this picture. She was so young. Capricorn did say that Pharrell was a witness. Just like they said Neo and Usher, Cassie said Neo and Usher stood there and watched Diddy beat her up and did nothing. I think she was saying Pharrell was a witness too. So Diddy's team is they're saying objection. They're trying to object. So she knew about Cassie and Kid Cudi's relationship. Diddy was upset and threatened her. And they're telling her there was some jewelry missing. We're gonna take you to Broadway, 1710 Broadway. We're gonna leave you here for 5 days. If you fail the lie detector test, we're gonna throw you in the East River. And the first lie detector test she took came up bad, and she had to redo it. Diddy's attorneys object, so I'm waiting for the court. They did a sidebar. They did a sidebar. It's a BET Awards in 2012 in LA. I think she is from LA. Look at Kevin Hart. The Dirty Diddy Money album release party. So she was an assistant for Cassie and an assistant for Diddy. She said Cassie was not that talented. She was more focused on having her relationship with Diddy. They objected. The judge said, keep going, let it rock. Let it rock. So we're going to keep going. We're gonna, wonder what 50 Cent had to say on social media. Let's see what 50 Cent had to say. Let's see. I'm waiting for the court, guys. Thanks for being patient. Go ahead, hit that like button for me. Thanks. See what 50 Cent had to say. He had a gun, told Chris Lighty, 50 Cent is such a troll. 50 Cent is such a troll. Look what he said. 50 Cent said, oh my goodness, itty bitty Diddy wants me dead. I have to lay low. Think I'm going to hide out at the playoff game tonight. He is ridiculous. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back, guy. The government asked Capricorn Court how did she feel. She said it was very serious and she was terrified. The government asked Capricorn, did she want to take the test? She said, no, I was afraid. The government said, how was the test? She said she had wires on her and they questioned her. Did I steal? The government said, did he tell you the results? She said, calm down. He couldn't get a good reading. And he might have to throw her in the East River. What? It's like a movie. They asked Capricorn, is anybody else in the building? She said, not to her knowledge. And they asked Capricorn, could she leave? She said, no. Uncle Paulie was there. Uncle Paulie was there. Oh my God. Is Uncle Paulie in prison? Or did he get out of prison? I'm gonna find out and come back. That's kidnapping. You're here for 5 days. You can't leave. If you fail this lie detector test that I can't read, I'm gonna throw you in the East River. I'm gonna find out if Uncle Paulie's in prison or out or where his ETA. She said Uncle Paulie was there. I think that's kidnapping. RICO. That's a predicate. Fire, arson, and kidnapping. They told her to come back the next day because they couldn't read her lie detector. She had to go back again in the same location all day. It's crazy. The government asked her, was she free to leave? She said, nope. Nope. What, they had guns and locked in the room? The government asked her, how long did this go on? She said, 5 days. 5 days. Kidnap, coercion, against your will, with threats. I'm going to throw you in the East River. Everybody's saying they don't hear the RICO. I don't see the RICO. I don't hear like Cassie was only one victim. We still got 4 or 5 more victims. We got another 6 more weeks of this. They only need 2 predicates without a reasonable doubt. Arson, kidnapping. The government says, did you tell anyone where you were? She said, no, I was just trying to survive. I worked on the NDA. She had an NDA. Diddy's team says objection. They said sustained. They said disregard. The government said What have you been doing? What would you shout out to Inner City Press that's been posting this. The government said what happens after 5 days. She said she'd be able to return to work. That Diddy would, oh my God. You said, did Diddy ever discuss it with you? She said no. So after 5 days of being kidnapped, two lie detector tests for missing jewelry, she was told she could come back to work if she passed the lie detector test. And she did. She went back to work and they said, why'd you go back? And she said, because if I didn't go back, they were gonna think I stole the jewelry. It's like a movie, guys. Hip hop. This is hip hop. They took her, locked in a room, 5 days, told her she couldn't leave. If she left, oh, they go Jacob the jeweler. He went to jail too. Didn't he go to jail money laundering? Jacob the jeweler. There they go. They all rap about Jacob the jeweler. The government says, what were your days like? Capricorn Clark said, from his townhouse on 74th Street in Park in the morning to Daddy's house studio at night. The government said, how much sleep did you get? She said, on a good day, I got 4 hours. On a bad day, too. She said she got a stress condition. She got paid $55,000. Forced labors. When you break down the hours, the amount of hours she worked by the amount of money she paid, that's forced labor. All of his staff was working like 80 to 100 hours a week. They were all underpaid. Multiple people. He was robbing everyone. He was robbing his staff, robbing his artists. That's forced labor, arson, kidnapping. They lining it up. Fashion Week. The government said, did you get paid overtime? She said, nope. She went to human resources. She was owed $80,000. The government said, how did Diddy respond to that? She said he ripped up the paper. He's so selfish. That's why he's sitting in jail right now. He don't want to pay his people. He want to bully everybody. He's very handsy. He want to threaten people. What did Wendy Williams call him? The gay thug rapper? The gay gangster. The gay gangster. The government asked Diddy, did he stay in hotels? She said yes. It's it sounds like he stayed in hotels more than he stayed in his own house. The government asked him who did he stay in the hotels with. She said he stayed in the hotels once a week with Kim Porter. Once a week with Kim Porter at the hotel. That's what she said. And this was his assistant for 11 years, Capricorn Clark. 11 years. There she goes. She's working 20 hours a day, sleeping 2 to 4 hours, making 55,000 a year. Forced labor, abuse, arson. They got to prove 2 out of 8 beyond a reasonable doubt. They went on break. The government asked Capricorn Clark, "What were you doing for Cassie?" She said, "I was managing her image, maximizing the optics for her for Diddy. He had the final approver." That was the other makeup artist I used to hear. They used to say about Kim Porter. They said Kim Porter was from South Carolina and she was very simple. I don't know if you ever seen her. Like she's just a simple, not a lot of makeup here, just a simple kind of like a southern kind of girl. And he would hire a crew, a glam squad, and that was Kim Porter's job. Was just like when I'm on the boat, wear yacht, and we're white and look glamorous, and she just would get up. She would just have that was her job, like a model, just to look glamorous for him. They asked Capricorn where did she live. She said she lived in L.A. in a gated community where he followed Kim Porter there. She put up Kim Porter, Suge Knight, Uncle Paulie, D Rock, Roger Barnes, Kid Cudi. That's his sister. This is 106. This is her at 106 on Park. I'm waiting on the government. At this point, she's on this stand maybe a little less than 1 hour. The government says she said in LA she was living in a gated community. She followed Kim Porter there. They asked her, where was Cassie? She said Cassie was in New York on the West End. She would come to LA to stay with Diddy or stay with her in a hotel. They said, who else was she, Cassie Ventura, seeing? Capricorn Clark said, Kid Cudi. The government said, how did you learn about that? Capricorn Clark said, she brought him to my apartment. Guys, go ahead and hit that like button, please. I appreciate it. Or share this video. If you guys, anyone was busy working today and they want to get all caught up, I'm trying to read the court documents directly to you because it's not going to make it to mainstream media. This is in 2012. So this is after she left Bad Boy. She got paid the 450,000. This is after Diddy beat her up, and then he tried to ruin her name and told everyone don't work with her. She's a thief. She started a rumor that she was a thief, and said she couldn't use Bad Boy's label as a reference. And he basically she got ostracized. It's like a cult. Don't work with. Same thing Diddy did with Misa. Don't work when Misa was with Suge Knight. He got mad. Don't work with her. Don't hire her. Allegedly. Allegedly. It's her birthday party. Oh, this is Chris Lighty's wife, Veronica Lighty and Capricorn Clark. That's Chris Lighty's wife. I knew her face looked familiar. This is 2011. So this is the year 2011 where she got kidnapped. Was working with him for 11 years, Diddy's assistant for 11 years. Okay, guys, I'm just waiting on the courts. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate it. Just gonna read something really quick. If you look here while I'm waiting on the courts, it says count one, racketeering conspiracy. For decades, Sean Cohn, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy loved the defendant, abused, threatened, and coerced women and others around him to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. To do so, Combs relied on employees, resources, and influence of multifaceted business empire that he led and controlled, creating a criminal enterprise whose members and associates engaged in attempted to engaging in, among other crimes, sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. So the government says, how did she learn about Cassie dating Kid Cudi? And Capricorn said Cassie brought Kid Cudi to her apartment. Cassie was going to get her killed. So the government says, what did Cassie say? This is the thing. Diddy's sitting there just listening to all this, and he's not high. She's saying that Cassie texted her that they were going to a public place in LA. So Capricorn was like, I told Cassie that that was a bad idea and to delete the text. Cassie wanted to go to a public place with Kid Cudi because they had bad boy cell phones. She was like, you can't be texting another man on a bad boy cell phone. She said, that's a bad idea and delete the text. The government said, why did you delete the text? She said, if Diddy learns about Kid Cudi, Diddy paid for her phone and Cassie's. So Capricorn Clark said, yep, that Diddy paid for both of their phones. I think Diddy had Kim Porter's phone tapped, and her house had cameras in her house, allegedly. I think he was watching and listening to her all the time. That was a dangerous situation. Capricorn said she took Cassie to Best Buy to get a burner phone. Cassie was very naive, very naive. The government asked Capricorn when did Diddy return to town, and Capricorn said not long after he took Cassie to a hotel. They lived in some hotels, boy. The Cipriani Hotel in California. Oh, it's in Beverly Hills. Cipriani. Hotel Cipriani. Beverly Hills. His attorney keeps calling mistrial. They wanted to kick off the doctor who testified about Stockholm syndrome. They tried to do a mistrial saying that Kid Cudi was going to say Diddy attempted to murk me, but he didn't say that. I can't find the hotel. Let's go back. All right, guys. Hang with me. Let's do this. We get into it. December 22nd. This is before Christmas, 2011. Between 5:30 and 6 a.m., there was a banging at her door. This is 3 days before Christmas. The government said, "What did you see through the peephole?" Oh, guys, Capricorn Clark said, "A furious Diddy." Well, she saw the damn boogie monster. Diddy came out like the boogie monster. He looked like the Joker. They said objection. They said ask another question. The government said what was his movements. Capricorn Clark said he was pacing. I think he had something in his hand. He was pacing back and forth. The government asked her, "Did you open the door?" Capricorn Clark said she did. Wow. She's brave. After she being kidnapped, threatened to be thrown in the East River, she opened the door. So Cassie was texting Kid Cudi. Diddy must have read the texts, flew out to California, banged on her door. She looked through the peephole. He had a bang bang. He was pacing back and forth. She said she saw something in his hand. The government says, "What did you see through the peephole?" She said, "A furious Diddy." I told you yesterday. I went on my live yesterday and said I think he had a bang bang. I said it. I said it yesterday. And she said she opened the door. The government said, "What was he wearing?" Capricorn Clark said he had a button-down sweater and torn pants, and he was holding the gun. He was holding the bang bang. Last time they took her in the car to go to the place on Broadway, the driver was in the front. Ruben, they have a black Cadillac, and usually Diddy sat in the front, but he sat in the back next to her, and she said she witnessed he had the bang bang on his lap. So she already knew the who she was dealing with, the criminal element. She said they came to his house with the bang bang. And she saw him another time with the bang bang when he said he told Chris Lightly that he had a problem with 50 Cent. I think he was just jealous. I think there was some jealousy over them doing business. And in revenge, Diddy's got with his baby mama, Daphne Joy. Diddy's pants were torn, holding a bang bang. She said he walked into her apartment and said, "Why didn't you tell me?" She said, "Who is Scott?" That's James Cruz in this picture, the who ran the label. They're asking her who's Scott, and she's like, "I don't know." And then he said he's gonna go bang bang Kid Cudi. That's what Capricorn is sitting here today testifying on court. Did he say he's gonna go? He got a bang bang, and he's gonna go kill him. Let's go back right here to the racketeering conspiracy. It says here, blank trafficking, forced labor that we saw with the chef, forced labor, the assistant, the kidnapping. Well, she says she was kidnapped for 5 days. Arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. Bribery. Remember the hotel guy came and said, "You offered me 100,000 in a brown paper bag," but he didn't take it. He operated his business at various times in Manhattan, Los Angeles, in the United States-based corporate entities, including Bad Boys. There it is right there. Count one, racketeering conspiracy. So he takes the bang bang and he tells her get dressed. She's like, I don't want to go. He's gonna look for Kid Cudi. Capricorn says she was concerned because he never came to her house before. The government said, did you try to escape? She said, nope. I went and got dressed. She was like, because he had a bang bang. What's you gonna do? He got the bang bang. She said, nope. This is Lauren London. Mm-hmm. Lauren London. They're not sisters. There was a rumor that they were sisters, Capricorn and Lauren London. They said, no, that's not true. But they're just friends. Everybody keeps saying they don't see the Rico. They don't see the Rico. I just read it to you. I just read it. So she got dressed. She got dressed. He got the bang bang. And they went to go look for Kid Cudi. The government said, who else joined in? She said Ruben. I don't know who Ruben is. Ruben was driving a executive class black Escalade. An executive class black Escalade. Ruben was driving it. Guys, go ahead, hit that like button. I appreciate it. They're asking her where was Ruben. He was in the driver's seat. She's saying Ruben was in the passenger. Capricorn was in the back, and Diddy was sitting next to her with the bang bang. And usually he sits in the front. They're asking how long does it take to drive from her house to Kid Cudi's house. She said about 15, 20 minutes. Here goes. Here's the black Escalade, executive class. Ruben was in the passenger seat, whoever Ruben is, his bodyguard. She's in the back, and Diddy's in the back, and he got the bang bang on his lap. And they're going. It's December 22nd, 5 a.m., 2011. 3 days before Christmas. She got scared because he had the bang bang and she gave up the dress. And they went. They went to his house. Guys, I'm gonna put my Cash App and my PayPal. I'm gonna link it at the top of the pin. I'm gonna pin it at the top of the comments. If you like to donate to the channel. She said it took 15 minutes to get to this house, and the government said, what did Diddy and Ruben do at Kid Cudi's house? She said they went inside. They asked her, could she see inside? That's when they went in the house and he opened up the Christmas gifts and he locked the door in the bathroom. She said she could see inside. The government asked her, what did she do? She said she called Cassie on her burner phone. Smart move. She said, Cassie, what the F? I told her Puff was at Kid Cudi's house. And she changed her number in her phone to her best friend Stormy. The government's asking Capricorn, what did you hear on the phone? She said she heard that Kid Cudi was at his house. The government says when Diddy came back, Capricorn Clark said he took his phone and called the last number. Damn, she got busted. She trying to call Cassie, warn her Diddy's at Kid Cudi's house. Diddy snatched the phone and then called, and then Kid Cudi drove up. He came up. He went to the house. Diddy said, there you go. There's that N-word. Look at Harvey Pierre. I wonder if he's going to get subpoenaed to testify. James Cruz. That's the Enterprise right there? Or that's the co-conspirators? Harvey Pierre and James Cruz. This is in 2011. All these pictures. 2011. That's a busy year. So Kid Cudi knows Diddy's in his house and he goes to the house. Well, this is what Capricorn's testifying. This is intense. We know later after 2 weeks of this. I said this on the last slide. What happened 2 weeks later? You know, he testified his car blew up. There was a cocktail bomb in there. He called the fire department. He made a police report when his house got broken into. He made another police report with the fire department when his car blew up. Capricorn Clark said they drove off because the police. Oh, Kid Cudi came up with the police. So Diddy drove off. He got shook. Smart. They stopped at a club and he told them to call Cassie. They stopped at the Key Club. He said, what did he tell you to tell Cassie? They saw the police, so they left. Kid Cudi came with the cops. He was shook. Diddy told Capricorn to tell Cassie that he had her and not to let her go. Basically, you're mine. You're not allowed to see anybody else. What a demon. That was a long testimony, guys. And then they're gonna go on break. They're gonna go on break, and then they're gonna cross examine. I don't know why Diddy didn't take the plea deal. Just take the T. The judge asked him to plea deal, plea 3 times. They was pushing that plea deal. No, I don't want it. If his minimum charge is 15 years, if they gave him a plea deal for 7, do you think he should take it? I guess he wanted to roll the dice. Now he might get life. He might get life now. She was working for Diddy, making $55,000, working 20-hour shifts, getting 4 hours to 2 hours a night, and he's beating her up. They get into more details when Diddy sees Cassie, what he does to her. He drags her. The government asked Capricorn how did Cassie respond. She said, okay, come get me. She was calm. The government said, who drove you home? Capricorn Clark said Ruben took her home. The government said, what did Diddy then tell you then? Capricorn Clark said, Diddy told her to convince Cudi not to say it had been him at his house. Ooh, I picked up Cassie. She's just telling him, be quiet. Don't say nothing to nobody that he was in his house. Cassie was gangster, said, come get me. She said, come get me. I guess Diddy went to get Cassie, and Ruben took Capricorn home. Diddy told her, get the F out. Diddy saw Cassie and proceeded to kick her multiple times in her back and her rear end and drag her by her hair down the street. Multiple times. Trigger warning, guys. Trigger warning. So she's just testifying that she saw abuse. Then they're asking her, who did you call? And then, oh, yes. Capricorn says she called Regina Ventura. She said she can't call the cops because she's working for him, but told her mother to call the police. Capricorn didn't call the police, but Capricorn said she called Cassie's mother and told Cassie's mother to call the police. You know, Cassie's parents allegedly took multiple vacations from Diddy. And her mother and her father was actually there when Diddy got her apartment in Manhattan. He got her apartment in Manhattan and an apartment in LA. Everyone keeps blaming her father. Where's her father? Where's her father? I think a lot of things her parents didn't know. I think the father is very timid, but they were there when he got her first apartment. So it wasn't like she didn't have any parents that life, and she has a brother. Guys, I don't want to go into salacious graphic details. I didn't cover Cassie's testimony. It was too sexually graphic. I wasn't getting into all that. And I didn't want to, I'm skipping over some of the physical beatings that Cassie's getting right now that she's testifying to. But I know Suge Knight on one of his podcasts, how you have a podcast from jail, was saying he witnessed Diddy got handsy with Capricorn too and hit her. You come with me with nothing and you leave with nothing. That's such a pimp mentality. You leave with what you came with. Diddy told Gene Deal, I'll never get married because there's no woman worth getting 50% of what I have. No one. So that was her testimony. The good thing about this testimony, what happened is that she's not having a relationship with Diddy. So she's testifying that she got an email from Cassie that Diddy was going to release sex tapes about her and that he would have someone else hurt her and Kid Cudi. The government said, do you recall if you responded to this email? Capricorn Clark said, I don't. They said, did law enforcement call you? She said the arson investigator called her. Kid Cudi gave him her name. And she said she hung up the phone. The arson people called her. And she was like, click. She said, what did Diddy say to you? She said, Diddy said, I should murk you and slice Cassie's face. Do you remember? Yo, he's sick. That guy is sick. Do you remember that one civil lawsuit that she said that after she was essayed, that he said he was going to give her a Glasgow smile with the knife like the Joker, cut up, slice her face? He's a sick guy. The guy's perverted. His mind is gone. Gone. Diddy is you take Bill Cosby plus R. Kelly equals the diddler. He's the diddler. Between the rugs and the essay. Anyway, guys, that is pretty much her testimony. We've been on here a good hour or plus. Thank you for staying with me. It was an intense day. I don't even remember. I didn't hear. We still didn't have the cross examination. Plus, the fire department came to testify. Plus, the police came to testify with the police report. So, these are the highlights, guys. I'm trying to do my best to keep you updated. Shout out to all the rest of the podcasters doing their best. Tisa Tells, Make It Make Sense, Ticket TV, PD podcast, PB podcast. Even Nancy, sometimes I watch Nancy Grace. She's hilarious. She's like, itty bitty ditty. Wink, 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 wink. Itty bitty ditty. Tootsie Roll. I need to do the Tootsie Roll dance today. So I hope Cassie had her son and everything is good. I'll try to come back tomorrow. I don't remember who's up. I'm sorry, guys. I don't have the list who's up tomorrow. Like I said, it's Harvey Pierre coming up. Is James Cruz coming up? Is 50 Cent coming up? Can y'all imagine when 50 Cent finally does his he won the Netflix bid for the 50 Cent movie or whatever, documentary or series. That's gonna be crazy. Anyway, guys, I'll be back tomorrow. Have a good night. Have fun. Go out. Be safe. Go eat some good food or a salad, a soup, or whatever. And we'll be back to chop it up. All right, guys? Because I think I'm not going to have enough for the defense. Maybe tomorrow when I come back on, I'll catch up with the defense, what they said. Diddy said he just wanted to murk the two of them. The government asked her, how many times did Diddy threaten you? She said Diddy threatened her 50 times. Damn. She said D-Rock was there. Oh, D-Rock may come up. D-Rock may come up to testify. She said Diddy threatened Capricorn 50 times. The good thing about her as a witness is she didn't have a relationship. They can't be like DV, domestic violence. They didn't have a relationship. They were platonic. The government is asking her about Harvey Pierre. She told the government, she said she told the government that she went to Harvey Pierre and told him that Puffy kidnapped her. I think he's up next. I think Harvey, they just lining it up. Guys, don't forget, hit that like button. And I'll be back tomorrow. Take a good stretch. Long day. All right, guys, I'm going to play a little dance music on the way up out of here. I've ended on a fun note. A little dance. Back tomorrow. Do what we got to do. Your jerk chicken, sizzle, sizzle. I'm going to make up a safari like dance. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it up. I'm going to turn on my Jamaican side. And I'm going to try to focus. Or maybe I'll just ask my kid to make it up. All right, guys. I think you guys can see me a little clearer now that I got a new camera. It's so clear you can see all the spots on my face. Whatever. Bye, guys. Thank you. Love you guys. I'll be back for another one. I'll come back tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. I don't know what time, but I'll be back. I did this song. I made this song. I made the beat. I wrote the lyrics. You like it? That's why there's no copyright. I could just play